All right, good evening, everyone. How are you? Good, good, good. So, given the first two speakers, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta tailor my speech differently. I had something totally different in mind, and I guess from hearing them, I feel a little bit inspired to give a more detailed background on myself. I hail from St. Louis, Missouri, even though I live in San Francisco at the moment, and it's more like East St. Louis, and it's an urban neighborhood, kind of low poverty, and my mom had me at 15, and with that beginning stage, it's the future doesn't seem too bright for that particular person, especially for our neighborhood, for the people there. And so she saw a gift in me, and she's like, you're my gift. I'm going to keep my baby or whatever. And she put me through private school, starting from fourth grade onward. And she set me up for success. So I appreciate her for that, and just shout out to my mom for that. So yes, you're here for moms. I went to college, U of I, and studied engineering, and I was like, oh my gosh, intern for boring. It's just so boring. So my passion's always been with fashion, and so I saw Alexander McQueen's show on my birthday in 2010 or 2009, somewhere around there, and I was super inspired about like how he used his creativity to create this narrative, and like it was like a movie for fashion, and so I wanted to partake in that myself. And so I researched where he went to school at St. Martin's, and I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go there. I'm like, dang, it's in London. It's hella expensive. How the heck I'm gonna get out there? And so they had a summer program for fashion design. I'm like, okay, let me figure out how to get money for that. I did this fundraiser with my church and raised the money, and I went out there for a summer course, and it happened. And I came back to St. Louis. I'm like, oh my God, it's just mad slow here. Like, I gotta take my career to the next level. And so I moved to New York, and fortunately, I was awarded an opportunity to intern with Zach Posen, and many of you don't know him. Like, currently, he's a judge on Project Runway, and he went to Central St. Martin, surprisingly, and he took a chance on me, even though I didn't have a full like 4-year degree from Central St. Martin's. He just saw my sketches and believed in me and took that chance, and it was just an awarding experience. And it was great to see just how someone who the background aspect of someone in a ready to wear experience for luxury, and how they just go about their day-to-day business. Like, he's talking to the pattern makers and dealing with different vendors and finding fabrics and stuff like that. And I never forget one day when he told a pattern maker, he's like, if you take any much longer in this pattern, I'm gonna have to charge an extra $1,000 for this when for a sellout price. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, he's just in here, this superstar person, and still like grinding about his business. And that was very inspiring for me. And so I also had another internship in New York with Mel Ottenberg, who is a super stylist for Rihanna. And again, like, I kept getting awarded all these crazy opportunities that, you think wouldn't happen, especially for someone like me coming from the hood, to be honest. And it's like, this is awesome. And so just seeing another perspective to the fashion industry from like a technical design aspect from Jack Posen to now, like how I'm going to create this iconic legend person and create these images and these looks for something that's going to span years of time. Like, we're going to look at images of Rihanna and her outfits and stuff, and years from now, and be super like wowed by it. And I took partaken in, like, I helped style for the Where Have You Been video. I did some of her red carpet looks for when she was in a movie, and some of her award show looks for the Grammys and stuff. So I was awarded great opportunities, but at the same time, they were internships. And so I wasn't making any money. And I had to, unfortunately, resign from some of those internships prematurely, because I'm living in the concrete jungle, and I have a newly wife, and we just moved out there together. And I wanted to provide for her and provide a lifestyle that was, you know, decent enough to make it in New York and to live the lifestyle I want to lead. So I had to take a job at Saks Fifth Avenue. But at the same time, while I felt like it was kind of like discouraging to leave my internships and kind of in a way give up my dreams, I still was awarded with great opportunities at Saks. As a sales associate, I worked my way up over a few years to being a brand ambassador for Christian Dior. And then after that, I ended up being meeting the designer for Dior On, which is a menswear designer who I look up to a lot. I got to pick his brain, and I had great clients like the VP of Def Jam. I got to work with Mike Epps, and actually designed one of the collections for his clothing line that came out when he was working with Rock Nation. So it awarded great opportunities. I got to use my background and just use those same experiences that I got making no money to making money. And so it was pretty awesome. So long story short, I spent, and my wife had an opportunity in San Francisco for with her job to move out here, and so we took that journey too. So we moved to the West Coast, and then I took a delve into management for Giorgio Armani in the luxury field. And the rewarding aspect of that was like developing the new talent that we hired on at Giorgio Armani, and I got to develop these the new hires on how to be a rock star salesman like I was at in New York. And so just giving them that experience and seeing them catapult and being like $1 million books at Giorgio Armani was really rewarding. And we actually had great clients. Actually, one of the investors for Uber, his name is Shervin Peshawar, an Iranian guy, and he's a big investor here. And he, you know, spent tons of money there buying made-to-measure suits. We had the best made-to-measure business in the U.S. We hosted a dinner for the 49ers, for the Hall of Famers, which is amazing. Like, I don't like football at all, but after that night, like, I was convinced that, like, these guys are super awesome, and seeing them on a human aspect and just talking to them was, again, it just kind of brought it back to home. Like, man, like, again, like, I came from East St. Louis, and I'm doing this, you know? It's like, as I stand here up here now and saying this out loud, it's like, man, like, it's kind of crazy to think, like, oh, I'm not doing much, but, you know, I am doing something. I inspire like two of my cousins back home, like the same situation. Like he just moved to New York and within the past month for a journalism job. And one of my friends' sister just moved there for a merchandising job in New York too. So I'm like, I know I have some kind of level of inspiration for them. And it is good to see them take that, the leap of faith and to go into that, to get those experiences and get out of their comfort zone of living in St. Louis. And so, now I'm the operation manager for Dolce & Gabbana, and I took that job just to kind of get a full circle of what it's like in the fashion industry from both front of house and then back of house. And so with that, it's a new flagship store. We've been open for close to 2 years now. I started with them during the beginning stages, and working with Italians, it's crazy to see like the architects and like they're so detail oriented, just like a fashion designer. It's like, okay, this is a good transition because I can use my same keen eye that I have for fashion design in like this architecture maintenance type of environment. And so it was nuts. Like everything comes from Italy. Like it takes me 2 months to get a light bulb. It's ridiculous. And so, but you know, I'm doing it, and I'm very successful in it. And you know, I communicate with a lot of different vendors, and it keeps me busy. But I also see the flaws within the industry, especially operationally. It seems like a lot of the procedures within that industry is very archaic, and they're not utilizing the technology that we have in this day. And it's like, man, especially being in San Francisco, it's like, why aren't you using Salesforce for your CRM captures and like your traffic counters and all this stuff? Everything is so skewed and it's not accurate. And the most thing I'm passionate about actually is the like the traffic coming into the store. And so across the board, like brick and mortar stores are having a hard time with foot traffic, and no one's coming to the store because I feel like today's consumer likes to shop e-commerce, but they also want the instant gratification. So after doing a little bit of research and talking to people, it's like they want the instant gratification of getting something instantaneously in the store, but they also like to look on their phone and scroll through and put stuff in their cart, and you know, just sitting in the home at the comfort of your home and getting that that leisure of just looking at fashion and being indulged in that aspect. And so right now I'm after thinking about that, I'm like, okay, I need to develop an app. When someone comes into the store utilizing this app, they have an intent to buy, and so that's going to create a better conversion. And while they're, especially for tourists, if you partner with hotels and stuff like that, like when there are people come in, and some people like nowadays, they just want to enjoy their trip. Like, you know, they're spending money on experiences. And so they don't want to waste time shopping and looking around and stuff like that because they're enjoying the beauty of the Bay Area. But if they know what inventory you have, and you have something that they have while looking at their phone, it's like, okay, let me pop into the store, grab this piece or whatever, and it's going to increase your conversion. It's going to be a guaranteed sale. And it's not like tourists coming in and just looking at your store as a gallery. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. I have a lot more detailed aspects to it, and I can't really relate all that in within 10 minutes that I have tonight. I guess that wraps up tonight. I definitely want to give a shout out to Nick, and thank you for creating a platform for minorities and for millennials to showcase their dreams and giving me this opportunity. It's amazing. So thank you to Nick and Glappitnova. And during my bio, he definitely did mention that I love trap music and I love Gucci Mane. And so his latest mixtape is like one of my favorites. He killed Coachella when I saw him recently, even though he had technical difficulties. But he has a song called Met Gala, and in it he says, thanking the Lord for the blessings. And now I'm at the Met Gala dressing up formal. And that's like one of my lifelong dreams, to go to the Met Gala and just kill the look and make sure that I match the theme like accordingly. And like Andrew Bolton, which is like one of the curators, will bring me in the next year to help him to, curate the next Costume Gala Institute. So with that, that's my closing aspect. And I'm here to just say, just put all that good energy into the universe, and hopefully my app comes to fruition and that I create more jobs in America and, just continue to be great. Thank you.